A weed eater slaps the face of Army Private Emery Cooper. Forever 19 years old, he has no family. Grass clippings splatter his inspection-ready uniform, while a larva's cocoon obscures his stoic soldier's expression. The real slap in the face is his filthy veteran headstone, covered in decades of disgraceful biological growth. 400,000 live here, not one to clean his stone. $775 million budgets for the county and city. But money have we none, says an ungrateful nation. How in God's country did we allow this to happen? There are no excuses. The sign in the middle of that highway, designating it as a Blue Star Memorial Highway, a tribute to the armed forces that have defended the United States of America. In this cemetery, there are at least 75 headstones that look as bad or worse than this. If we're going to put up signs in the middle of the highway, I think we might want to just step over into the cemetery and pay some real respects to a veteran by keeping their headstones clean. So this is what separates this cemetery from having all of these veteran headstones clean. This is 1 gallon of D2 biological solution, cost about 50 bucks. And as best I could calculate, it'll spray 1 coat of D2 on approximately 88 headstones. So 1 gallon should treat this entire cemetery, and within 4 to 6 months, no scrubbing involved, all of these veteran headstones should appear as if they belong in Arlington, because they do. Our National Cemetery Administration maintains our national cemeteries as national shrines. That's powerful. Our local communities should maintain the veteran graves in their local cemeteries as national shrines, because it's the right thing to do. I hope you will join me by Memorial Day to get all of these veteran headstones clean. And if you're a municipality, if you own a cemetery, if you're a caretaker for a cemetery, if you can't come up with 50 bucks for a bottle of D2 and a backpack sprayer to get this done, then if a volunteer shows up at your door and asks permission to clean these veteran headstones, following the protocol issued by the National Cemetery Administration, for these veteran headstones that remain federal property, I encourage you to say yes and allow this to go away, because this is not right. Let me take you to a spot nearby here so you can understand why I'm so passionate about my mission to clean every veteran headstone in America by Memorial Day. If you're watching this video and have seen some of my other videos, you might wonder, what drives this guy? Why is it so important to him that every veteran headstone be cleaned by Memorial Day? Well, it's because of my great uncle, Griffin Monroe Haynes, my grandmother's brother. He was killed in action, World War II, Battle of the Atlantic, aboard the SS Susanna. He was in the United States Navy. He was an armed guard on a merchant marine ship carrying supplies across the Atlantic to England. So when you see those movies like Tom Hanks' Greyhound, and you see those merchant marine ships going up in flames, exploding from torpedoes fired from German U-boats, and you see those ships going to the bottom, they go to the bottom with loved ones like my Uncle Griffin, Gold Star families like mine. So I take this seriously. I take it dead seriously, the freedom that we enjoy in America, because it's been paid at a high price. We can't forget these men and women who have defended the United States of America. Let me read the telegram that my great-grandparents received. Western Union Telegram, Arlington, Virginia. James Monroe Haynes, Manatee, Florida. The Navy Department deeply regrets to inform you that your son, Griffin Monroe Haynes, Seaman First Class, U.S. Naval Reserve, is missing following action in the performance of his duty and in the service of his country. The department appreciates your great anxiety, but details not now available and delay in receipt thereof must necessarily be expected to prevent possible aid to our enemies. Please do not divulge the name of his ship or station. My grandmother told me about the day the telegram arrived. Her father read it, but they didn't share it with her mother because she was sick in bed, and they were worried that the news of Griffin might send her to her grave. So when she came around in a few days, the first thing she asked was, "Why didn't you tell me?" And they said, "What do you mean, Mama?" She said, "Why haven't you told me that Griffin's gone?" And no one had shared the telegram with her. And she said, "I know he's gone because I had a dream and I saw him reaching for me. I could reach down for his hand, but I couldn't quite reach him as he was going under." Mother's intuition, I guess. So let's take a tour of the cemetery here and give you an idea of the condition of the veteran headstones and grave markers. This is a white marble, flat to the ground monument. As you can see, it's covered in black algae. This is Joe Dean from Virginia. And over here we have Abraham King. He's from Florida. That's about all we know about him. This headstone really needs to be reset. And then this one's in pretty tough shape. Cleaned a lot of headstones like it. Richard King. Not sure if he's related to Abraham, possibly brothers. But when I saw the death date of 1954, it seemed very close to Korea. So when I looked him up online, I found that his death certificate shows that he died of 90% burns to his body caused by an exploding shell. It was an accidental explosion while he was, I guess, in training, and it took him 21 days in a hospital of suffering from those wounds before he passed. So as you think about our servicemen out there who they don't have to be killed in battle in order to give their lives for our country. This is Freddy Simmons. This is a good example of a stone covered in lichens. You can see the white growth on this stone. You can see it really well on the back. It's been a long time since anyone's paid any attention to this man's veteran headstone. This is another challenge that we have with our veteran headstones. This stone has sunk into the ground quite a ways, and at least a foot, and it's obviously leaning. You can see the back of the stone. It's pretty well camouflaged in there with kind of a mustard colored algae growing on the back. Don't want to step on any of these graves, so step back a little bit here and walk in through his grave. The top of the grave's collapsed somewhat, but this one is covered with lichens, and again that kind of a mustard colored, I guess it's algae growing on the side and the back. I'm going to give you a few reasons why I don't like the ground level grave markers. These are just details that family members don't understand when they select which type of VA marker to order from the VA. But these flat stones, the water does not cascade off of them. It just sits on there, and it creates a great opportunity for this black algae to just grow, thicken the letters, covers the entire stone. Fortunately, this is sitting atop a ledger, so it's holding it up, but so many of them will disappear down into the ground because they settle with the weight of them. These are not light objects. And then you can see all the leaves on the ground from the oak trees, and that annual falling of leaves covers these stones, creates detritus on top of them, and just eventually over 50 years buries them. Enoch Lewis, U.S. Army. And this next one is probably one of the worst lichen encrusted veteran headstones I've seen. It's really close here. This is David Demond. I mean, look at that. The stone's almost turned white again because it's covered in white lichens. I'm going to give you 3 good examples of why ground level markers are not a good idea. Now this is showing up a little better because of the contrast with the sun, but I mean this, I walked right by this the first time, barely saw it. It is very camouflaged. And then we head over here. If you're not convinced yet that you need an upright veteran headstone, not one of these flat marble, flat granite, bronze on a base stone. There's 2 veteran headstones here. Can you spot the second one? This is like Easter egg hunting, but this isn't fun and games. This is a veteran's grave. We can see this one is Bert Scott. I'll help you out here. The only indication that there is a veteran buried here is just the edge of the cross. Knowing that he was a Christian is all that exists above ground, barely. I mean, just one little edge. You see that? This is one of those stones that I missed the first couple times I walked the cemetery. And this is one of those veteran headstones that you just wonder why we can't spend 15 seconds giving it a coat of wet and forget to get all of that off of that beautiful white marble monument. I can read his name is Elbert Griffin. I can't really tell what unit he was with other than it was a pioneer unit. Imagine if a headstone looked like this at Arlington or any national cemetery. I don't think that'd be tolerated. These are the same iconic white marble monuments marking the same sacred ground as those monuments at Arlington, Normandy, and places like Gettysburg. These men were World War I soldiers, buried here in Palmetto, Florida, Manatee County. And under our watch, we've allowed their headstones to look like this. But we can do something about this by Memorial Day. Doesn't cost that much money, doesn't take that much time, just takes some heart for a leader in your local community to step up, take ownership of this situation, rally local volunteers to come out and help you. And we'll be successful by Memorial Day to get these headstones looking proper and honorable the way they should. A tribute to the armed forces who defend the United States of America. Visit our website at bymemorialday.com to learn everything you need to know about how to properly clean these headstones, including a link to the protocol issued by the National Cemetery Administration on how to properly clean these government-furnished federal property stones while doing no harm to the natural stone. Register at veterangraves.com and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. I'm Trae Zipperer. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of our mission to honor every veteran in America with a clean headstone by Memorial Day.